Flavor Flav! How about the Columbus Lions, baby? Champions! I had to do it. Chris just put it in my head. He says, why are you trying to pull the Flavor Flav look right now? Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. I am on Cloud 9 right now. Just getting back yesterday from Wheeling, West Virginia as our Columbus Lions undefeated, 11-0, champions, baby, and ended what was, I think, the best season in the history of the franchise on a high note as a champion. And now we got a great week in store. We got coaches shows lined up, obviously at Poor Decisions on Wednesday, and then on Saturday, the parade. Thrift Behringer here live from the Colin Scrogin and CNAW studios. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Mike Costello Law Firm, Houston Clinic, and Coca-Cola. You see the championship trophy. I got my guy in, Damian Daniels, the head coach. He'll be in and talk about the championship, what we got going down this week, and how much fun we had this past weekend. I want to say quickly, thank you to the broadcast team. Thank you to Josiah Berry, Austin Hicks, Chris Gates, Dave Plata, Mike Peacock, Tony Morgan, and then, of course, myself. What a group, a collective effort to give a fantastic broadcast for everybody to watch here at home. We had a ton of fun while we were there. I want to say thank you to Corey Black, of course, Coach Daniels, Roger Beck for including us and letting us be a part of this wonderful ride. Your boy was down there on the sideline screaming and hollering. I was actually a fan. When it was time to get on, in front of a microphone, obviously the professionalism was going to come out. But trust me, when I was off air, your boy was screaming and hollering. And if I didn't like a call, I'm like, hold up, man, I can't get ejected from this game. Let me take a step back a little bit. But that's how invested I was, and I feel like that's how the entire community. And I want to shout out all three busfuls of fans that drove up there 12 hours. I know Coach Daniel will talk about that too. So fantastic. All right, what else happened this past week in Columbus United and their season on a bang? We'll talk with Richard Holgers about that. Curtis Simpson comes in tonight because playoffs are starting for the Night Ballers League. And my man, Jermon Fortson, we call J-Man, who is, again, had an incredible championship game, 2 touchdowns. He plays in the Night League. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I mean, just an athlete. Won't stop, can ball, and he'll be playing in that this week ahead of the parade as well. I know he was kind of hurt, so hopefully he'll take it slowly. But Night Ballers League. Playoffs start Tuesday is the first round. Then the Final Four is on Friday. Championship game this Saturday. We will be there covering that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live at 7:15. The girls and the boys will be right after at 8:15. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back from break, we're going to bring him on. Head coach Damian Daniels, right after their championship win. It finally happened. The season to remember here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with Chevy trucks and SUVs. Attention! 0% financing for 5 years on Silverado, Equinox, and Trax. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. Drive home in a brand new Chevy Silverado, HD or Colorado. Looking for an SUV? Choose from Tahoes, Equinox, Trax, and Traverse. All ready to roll. With any vehicle, you'll receive a beautiful American flag kit for your home. Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
Welcome back in, everyone, in the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, and he's in. And now he can smile. He's on cloud nine. He's a champion, baby. Coach Damian Daniels, man. What does it mean, dude? We talked a little bit, right after the game, but obviously a lot of thoughts and emotions going through your head in that moment. Right. Now, a few days later, what did this win mean to you, man?
Man, it's amazing. It was a wonderful season. This probably is the most gratifying championship that I won, especially as a coach. You know more than anybody, right. What I went through last year. So to be able to follow it up with a season like this was pretty special.
Yeah, Coach, there were some – you know what? I ain't even going to get into that negativity. All I know is, Coach, you withstand it. Yeah. And when you were able to do that, and then you got the backing. Right. The two guys, we'll start with them first, and then we'll go into the team and the accolades and everything else that's accumulated over this past weekend. But Roger and Corey had to buy in first, because if they didn't, I don't think you wanted to be involved with this anymore, man, especially the way you were treated last year. Yeah. But now that when you saw them become involved, It was like a match made in heaven, man.
Yeah, and that was the conversation we had. You know, I knew that we needed to go in a different direction. So when I first brought it to Roger, you know, of course he had to, you know, consult with Corey first. That's his number one guy. So, but once they came back to me, you know, they told me and they asked me, "Are you going to be here? Or how long are you going to be here?" And as long as I was going to be here, they were going to be in. So once I got that kind of support, man, we all said, yeah, we're doing this. Like you say, it was kind of a match made in heaven.
We had the awards for those that were watching after the broadcast. We had the AAL League Awards. Let's talk about them, Coach.
Yeah.
We'll spend a bulk of our time getting into whatever happened during the game. But for the season, these are season awards.
Right.
Blaine Espinoza winning the MVP. Stretch Credo won Offensive Player of the Year.
Right.
DeKoven Ware Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
And then who am I missing? That's it. And then of course
General Manager.
you were Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And then Corey Black being GM of the Year.
Yeah.
Sweeping those awards.
Yeah.
First with your players. What does it mean your guys getting recognized for their hard work?
I mean, they deserve it, man. You know, especially those three guys. You know, we you know, depend a lot on them to be leaders of the team, and they came in and did their job week after week. So for them to get, you know, rewarded the way they did, I think it was well deserving, and I'm super proud of those guys.
How about you getting the respect from your colleagues in the league, giving you Coach of the Year? I know you don't care about, you know, self pat on the back,
Yeah.
but Coach, it has got to be nice getting
Yeah.
respect from your colleagues around the league.
It is, and I think the biggest compliment I feel like I got, or the one that meant the most to me, is just, you know, the other coaches, they talked about just sitting back and watching how we did things. Right. You know, how us coming, how we came out and warmed up, how all of our guys were uniformed the same way, opposed to some of these other teams. You know, you got, you know, different guys wearing whatever they want to wear. Right. So I feel like that was the biggest compliment of the standard that I set, just from the way we look to the way we come out on the field to the way we play, is, you know, what was gratifying for me.
By the way, the league is expanding because of how it took off this year, and obviously at the forefront of that, the lead at the head of the snake, the Columbus Lions.
Yeah.
Coach, let's talk about the game. You go down 14-0.
Yeah.
The team is driving, wheeling is to go up by 3 touchdowns. What was the message to the team to get that 4th down stop there?
Yeah.
And then obviously there was like, I didn't even see you hesitate. Go ball immediately.
Yeah.
What was the thought process during that whole sequence?
I mean, like I said, it was just some things. They weren't doing anything special. It was some things that we practiced all week that we were messing up on. So I knew, you know, we had a lot of young guys, and that was one thing that I was worried about going into it, was, you know, what's the moment going to be too big for some of these guys?
Right.
And you know, I think it was a little jitters early on,
Right.
so we had to settle in, man. So, but that's what we kept saying. Hey, let's just lock in, do what we do, and we're gonna be fine. And once we got that first stop, you know, soon as we got off, Coffee was like, "Hey, we go ball right here. Yeah, let's do it." You know, and you know, we had the plays called right. We ended up scoring, and once we tied it up, you know, it was on from there.
Jacob Smith, you just saw the highlights, guys. Jacob Smith with an awesome touchdown catch. But, you know, early on, Blaine, the defensive line was getting after him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it just seemed like offensive line woke up a little bit.
Right.
Blaine started getting a little bit more time. And then once he had time, he was able to deliver the passes. When you saw your team finally settle down after that touchdown, I felt like there wasn't any worry anymore. I didn't feel like you weren't worried in the first place. But then they get the safety.
Yeah.
Right after the safety, we then
turn the ball over on the
right, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, if you see the replay, in my opinion, Jacob Smith had his hand on it. It should have been Lions' ball. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
First play, they get it back and score a touchdown, and y'all go into the half down 4.
Yeah.
What did you tell the team then to have them come out and score 27 unanswered in that second half?
I can't tell you exactly what I told them, but we'll just get
This
to
is a, this is a G word right
you know,
now.
But you know, like I said, we just had to settle down, you know, and that's the one thing that I've learned about this team over these, especially these past few weeks, going back to the Jersey game. Nobody on our team, nobody on our staff ever doubted it, ever panicked or anything like that. So we all knew that, hey, fellas, let's just play Lions football. And you mentioned the offensive line waking up, but that third quarter, our defensive line woke up too. And once we win up front, you know, that's when we start playing Lions football.
Yeah, and I saw defensively, Jacobin Ware, I mean, obviously he had a fantastic game. But DeAndre Brown, Yancey,
came alive.
Those guys were absolutely sensational. Did you light a fire underneath them, or those guys, it looked like they were just ready to kill somebody in the second half?
Yeah, it was actually, like I say, the coaches said what they had to say, but before we came out of that locker room, it was a lot of those guys talking. The DeAndre Brown spoke up and talked. Awesome. J-Man spoke up and talked. Right. Drell Green spoke up and talked. So, you know, like I say, those veteran leaders, man, when it's time to go get it, they're going to set the tone. And once we came out that locker room, I knew we were ready to play some ball.
How about J-Man? That guy, and I said this, Coach, your name, you got your number up in the rafters. Yeah. It may be time for another number.
Yeah, six is definitely going up.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wasn't forced. It was a part of the game. Right. You know, in those moments, you want it so bad, so you try to get it to him. But it just felt like everything was just natural, like it always been with his career.
Yeah.
To see him go out like that, I know that had to make you smile.
Oh, yeah. I loved it, man. Like I told you before, you know, that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to do, to make sure he went out a champion. And, you know, that guy's just a winner. That's what he does. So, like you say, it wasn't forced at all. It was just when the game is on the line, there's one guy I know that's always going to show up and show out and be there, and that's J-Man. And when it was time to make a play, and I think Blaine knew that as well, you know, so, but he was getting open. You know, he got open, and, you know, Blaine made some great throws, and he made the plays, and, you know, here we are.
Yeah, champions, 11-0. I'm with head coach Damian Daniels, the Nighthawk, my guy, man. To see 3 bus fulls and the fans going crazy. Swag and surfing, like they were loud all night long. They took on the entire Wheeling fan base and didn't care. There was at one point they were saying BTA, that's belt to you know the other word. I love every second of it, man. How did it feel having those fans right there with you when you were down 14, knowing they're sitting there riling y'all on, getting y'all motivated? That had to feel cool, man.
It was amazing, man. To be honest with you, of course I have tons of confidence in myself and my team. But without that fan base, I don't know how that game would have swung. You know, but you know, like I say, hats off to them. Definitely couldn't have done it without them. And the atmosphere and the electricity that they brought with them was amazing. You know, I've been seeing it on Facebook, you know, since that game. Like, you know, a bunch of people comment like, how is the away team crowd louder than the home team? And that's what they brought, man. So, you know, shouts out to them, and shouts out to Roger Beck and Corey Black for making that happen. And I can't wait to the parade. You know, if they showed up and showed out like that in West Virginia, I'm pretty sure we're going to throw a party Saturday.
Well, Coach, thank you for letting us be a part of the ride.
Indeed.
You saw me on I was yelling and screaming, Coach. I was a big time fan, brother. It comes out of me, especially when I love the guys that I'm cheering for too, man. So thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday, Coach's Show, Poor Decision, 50 Cent Wing Night. If you haven't been, stop living on a rock. Coach, tell me to come hang out. It's fun.
Last one, come check us out.
Hey, it's going to go out with a bang. And then on Saturday, the parade. Starting at 11, we're going around Broadway. We'll end at the Tap. This is your cry to the community, why they need to come out and see your guys. And let's cheer us on one more time as we bring home this championship, everybody.
It's been an amazing season, but like I said, you know, it just wasn't this team. You know, it was the whole community, the whole city. Like I say, they showed up and showed out in West Virginia for that championship game, and it's only right to finish this thing, and let's celebrate at home where we're supposed to.
You see the trophy. He brought it home, baby.
Indeed.
11-0. That's another thing, too. Undefeated, Coach. What a ride. What a time. And by the way, Wheeling, we beat them by 1. We beat them by 2. And Chris, go ahead and throw it to me because this thing right here was an MVP. Listen, there were just some detractors about this, Coach. They're ready to use it all year. You love this thing on Saturday night.
I hated it all year, but Saturday night, it became our baby, and it definitely, you know, did us some good.
Coach, thank you so much. You made the community proud, brother. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Mike Frost talk high school football here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with Chevy trucks and SUVs. Attention! 0% financing for 5 years on Silverado, Equinox, and Trax. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. Drive home in a brand new Chevy Silverado, HD, or Colorado. Looking for an SUV? Choose from Tahoes, Equinox, Trax, and Traverse. All ready to roll. With any vehicle, you'll receive a beautiful American flag kit for your home. Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Celebrate America's 250th all month long at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. During the month of July, with every new or used vehicle purchase, you'll receive a beautiful embroidered American flag kit for your home. Our way of helping you proudly celebrate. We have over 500 vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery. You'll find the biggest discounts and a great selection. Visit Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika today. Get ready to smile.
the helicopter just landed, and my boy Big Curtis Simpson got in here talking about someone that's got more money than anybody, got all the clout. My boy coming in, helping us out. Looking forward to talking with him. Night Ballers, playoffs, Women's Adult League going down this week. We got the first round on Tuesday, Mike, Shirley B. Winston. Final four for men's and women's on Friday, and then championship for men's and women on Saturday. Guess where you're going to find the games?
Right here.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Mike, we're getting really fired up now because we're getting closer and closer. I can hear it.
It's like diesel. I've cranked it up. I'm just sitting there warming up, getting ready for August.
I feel it, Mike. I feel it. When we talked off air, we were like, all right, we've kind of hit on every position as much as we know. Again, it's hard because we'll get more information on these teams when media days start in the next couple of weeks, a few weeks before the season begins, and then we'll have a really good idea to maybe give some preseason rankings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right now, we're just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I asked you to do some homework, and I said, let's talk about some of the top schedules returning next year. Who, in your opinion, are some of those teams?
Honestly, I mean, we've talked about Carver's schedule a few times the last couple of weeks, but I had to bring up this Glenwood schedule. Going to the private school.
I know we don't hit on it as much as Carver.
Nah. I mean, you got to think about, all right, Alabama, AHSAA goes to the private school versus public school format. So now Glenwood has to play all private schools. Unfortunately for Glenwood, most of those private schools are in the Mobile area. So they're going to start off, of course, they got their rival, Lee Scott Academy, first game of the year. Then they go Brookstone.
Which is always a tough game. Usually one of the toughest of their season.
Exactly, every season.
And they lead off with that.
Yeah. And then they host Brookstone the next week. Houston Academy, St. Paul's, Catholic Montgomery, UMS Wright, who's a playoff perennial powerhouse in Alabama, McGill Tulane, and then they host St. Michael Catholic, Gunner Rivers coming to Phoenix City, the son of Philip Rivers.
I can't wait.
I know that's gonna be crazy.
Talking trash on the sideline, Mike.
Yeah,
wait.
I'd probably just show up to the game just to watch Philip Rivers, just to watch. Yeah,
and cuss out a referee.
Well, that's the thing about it is you think he's cussing. He doesn't. He's just out there. He talks the most trash for somebody that does not cuss.
Right.
Other than I guess Andrew Luck, but Faith Academy, Lochapoka, and we watched Lochapoka in that 7-on-7 a couple weeks ago. They look good too.
I was about to say they're athletic, and I'm gonna let you talk about the schedule a little bit. I just want to add Faith Academy. That is an old AISA rival. So Faith was in the AISA, left in 2008. They played each other in the state championship the year before in basketball. They played several times in football. Faith used to be one of the dominant programs in the AISA. So for the first time, last time they played Faith, 2007.
Oh, wow.
Freshman year for Thrift Behringer. And Glenwood was facing Faith in the first round of the AISA. Glenwood was 9-1, the number 2 seed, and they ended up losing to Faith, who was 7-3, but obviously Faith's a very big private school, and looking forward out of Mobile area to see them, man. So, but you see that schedule.
Yeah, it's tough.
Gonna be a lot tougher than it has been the last couple of years. But if anyone can take on that type of schedule, I think we both agree it's Ryan Freaking Nelson.
Yeah, he'll have them prepared for that. They got the good athletes at Glenwood. They're going to be prepared regardless. It's going to come down to mainly one of those things. And you got the Mobile schools like we talk about. The one thing that they might have on Glenwood is depth. They're larger private schools. They have great depth out there. And, I mean, with schools, like I said, UMS Wright, McGill Tulane, those guys right there make it to the playoffs, make it to deep in 6A and 7A sometimes in Alabama in the fighting against other public schools. And then they end it with Lochapoka, a non-region game at home. And we just, like I said, we just watched them at Smith Station when they played that 7-on-7. Their middle linebackers already committed to Alabama. So, I mean, it's no slouch to go to that play against that 2A team to end the season. So, Glenwood's going to have a tough one this year. But if they come out of it and make the playoffs, it's going to be a great season for the Gators in Phoenix City.
I agree with you. But, again, just travel.
Yeah.
Not knowing a lot about these teams after getting familiar with the region you have been in, area you've been in with Beulah and Randolph County and
Lee Scott.
Geez, Dadeville. And now you have to go and relearn everything again. But again, Ryan Nelson has done an amazing job with the transition from the HSA, AISA a few years ago. He has won 8 games or more each of the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Why would this year be any different? I don't care how tough it is. I believe in him. And listen, he's going to buckle his shin strap, and they're going to go out and play football.
Oh, yeah.
There's no complaining about it at this point. You can't do nothing about it. Is it fair? Is it unfair? I will tell you, I think it's egregious that one of the smallest of the bigger private schools, like literally when they split up the different private schools, Glenwood is the smallest in the big private school region.
The large class,
and and their classification. Someone had to be it.
Yeah.
But there was a big discrepancy in their how many people go to Glenwood compared to the next person on that list. Would have thought they would have put them down, but that's neither here nor there. Glenwood can't do anything about it now. All they can do is go out and compete. And I like what Ryan Gelston has and his staff. He's got one of the best coaching staffs in all the area. I expect them to reload. Now let's go from Glenwood and let's talk Russell County.
Yeah.
So the Warriors, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't have someone as good as Bryson Riggins, and I think he was the best quarterback in the area last year.
Yeah, he was.
That's good. That's a lot to replace. I like Chris Lucas, but they, guess what? New area.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that a lot with a lot of teams around our in the Tri-City, and I'm part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live coverage. So what's your thoughts on their schedule?
Well, with their schedule, we kind of look, I mean, like you just brought it with Riggins being gone, I believe with Chris Lucas, who's a star running back for Russell County, he was just a sophomore last year, it'll basically be a run-oriented offense. But, I mean, they start things off. They play BTW out of Tuskegee to start it off. Then they've got Headland, Stanhope, Elmore, Wetumpka, Benjamin Russell, then Valley. And then they still play the guys they're used to playing, Pike Road, Rehoboth, Percy Julian, Park Crossing. So, I mean, it's towards the end of the season, they'll be back to kind of the norm, what they're used to playing. Pike Road, just powerhouse. I mean, basically, that's all we can say. I believe when they played Russell County last year, they went 0 quarterback for the entire first half. They played that old 4-in-the-box offense and just ran it. I mean, there's nothing you can do for that whenever that's what they do. And all 4 of those guys in the backfield went on to play college football or going on to play college football this fall. So it's going to be tough to see if Pike Road can reload. Maybe if they can't, maybe Russell County can sneak another dub in there, maybe win the region this year, as that was the one team they couldn't beat in the regular season last year. So, but it's going to be a tough one. I mean, Headland's no slouch. Stanhope, Elmore, Wetumpka always plays a tough game. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be fun this year to see how Coach Griggs and them do this year without Bryson Riggins at the helm, and see if they can lean on Chris Lucas and go back to the playoffs again this year.
9-1 and 8-2 in the regular season. The last 2 seasons, 17-3.
Yes.
So expectations are high. It's been the greatest seasons I think in Russell County history. And see if they can't build upon it, but it's no easy slouch. And I don't think you just replace him with a player. What you do is you try to find players that can make up for it. And maybe a big factor is Chris Lucas, because he could be the #1 running back next year. I'm telling you, 1,000 yards last year with a team that likes to throw the ball over the field with Riggins makes you think when he's the #1 option now, what is he capable of?
And then without Riggins at quarterback, you still got Quentin Lewis at wide receiver. Lucas can catch the ball out of the backfield. So you're going to see a lot of screen passes, a lot of bubbles. Yeah. So get them out in open space and let them run.
They got skill set players. It's just who's going to take on that quarterback position. How about Brookstone? They got Westfield, a team that won 8 games last year, finished #2 in 3A. The Spencer Green Waves, Joseph Cagle been in the playoffs the last 4 seasons. Glenwood, we just talked about, they win 8 games a year, it seems like. Stratford, the defending state champions. Central out of Macon, they haven't won a game in 2 seasons, so there's that. John Millage, the #1 team in all of the GIAA. Yes. Manchester, always been a really good program. Calvary, rival at home, at Pacelli, and then they round out with Strong Rock. I bring them up because out of all the private schools in the GIAA, between them and Calvary and Pacelli, they're not even close. They have the toughest schedule. But Coach Headley believes in his quarterback, in Broughton Branch. He thinks the defense is going to be good, maybe not as good as last year early on. And you don't replace Harrison Baker and A.J. Hayes, linebacking and quarterbacks of the defense like this. It's going to take time, but they got playmakers out there. I think big things are around the corner. As long as Coach Farmer's a defensive coordinator, I like Brookstone, but that's just it's an incredible schedule, man.
That's a tough schedule. That's one of the things about it is with GIAA and that region alone, I mean, people kind of look at it as private school, not a lot of competition, but Coach Headley's making a big deal of going out there and getting these public schools, playoff public schools, and trying to give his team some kind of something to look forward to, a little bit of adversity early in the season, see how his guys respond, and see if they get ready to come playoffs. Because, I mean, the tougher games you play during the regular season the more prepared you are come playoff time. So when you're playing against those teams, it's no real detriment to you as far as the region standings go to get the seeding in the playoffs. If they're able to squeeze a couple of wins out of these public schools and these playoff teams, if anything, it'll bump up those rankings because, they go by the power rankings in GIAA as well. So I believe Brookstone, Coach Headley, trying to get something going there. It's going to be tough, though. Like you said, Westfield, John Miller's, there's a couple of those private schools right there that are phenomenal teams. And then playing guys like Spencer, Glenwood, Manchester, outside of the region. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a real good season for Brookstone.
Smith Station, they're always going to have a tough schedule just because of the daggum area they play in. I mean, non-area games, they host Northside, which is going to be a big one. Then they got Percy Julian, at Percy Julian. Then Dothan. Then they got Carver Montgomery. Wetumpka, I think that could be a winnable game. I think Percy Julian, I think Northside. There's 3 wins on there I think they can get. At Enterprise, Carver Montgomery at home was on the road. It was kind of close last year.
Yeah.
I know down the stretch in the second half they kind of just wore them down. But early on that game was close. They have them at home. I can see 4 or 5 wins with the Smith Station. Now you still got Central.
Yeah, the back half of that schedule is tough.
You got Opelika, you got Enterprise. Yeah, that's not easy.
Nah.
But I think Smith Station has an opportunity to improve upon their 2 wins last year.
Oh, exactly. I believe like the first half of the season, they'll easily match that 2 wins, maybe get 4 just in the first half of the season before they take on that gauntlet that is Enterprise, Central, Opelika, Auburn to end the year. I mean, Dothan's going to be a really tough one to try to get out of, but Northside a winnable game, Percy Julian winnable, Jag, Carver Montgomery, maybe even sneak a win out of Wetumpka. I mean, it's a possibility that Coach Blair Harrison and those guys could end up 500 this year.
All right. Now I want to talk about just 1 or 2 favorable schedules this year. I have one off the top of my head. I got 2 off the top of my head. I'm trying to decide which one I'm leaning towards. Mike, I'll let you go first. Who is a favorable schedule? Who do you think has a schedule that they can work with? I'm leaning towards Calvary and then Pacelli. Pacelli's got at PD, but they had to host Mount Vernon. Then they will go on the road to Eagles Landing up in McDonough, Georgia. They will have at Deerfield, then they got Strong Rock at home, Brookstone at home, Calvary, and then Montgomery Academy. Of those, I think all of them are winnable games. I don't see one like, man, that's going to be really tough. I think Pacelli has an opportunity this year to do something. Calvary, same thing. They play at Bowden. They also play against they open Terrell Academy. They open up against Bethlehem Christian. What's your thoughts on those 2?
I believe it's going to be a good season for both of them. I mean, right now, Pacelli, you think Cam Carino going to Air Force, going to be a big part of that offense there. You think about the guy who just left the building, Damian Daniels, the defense coordinator at Pacelli.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to have those guys ready with a transfer coming in, and CJ Starr, who's basically an all-around athlete out there on the field. Reminds me of course, I'm old. I played against Thomas Davis in high school when he was at Randolph Clay, and he was there. Running back / quarterback / linebacker, safety, kick returner, punter, kicker. Yeah, so that's what CJ Starr is going to be at Pacelli, I believe, next year. I think Pacelli can end up maybe sneaking a couple of wins in there, maybe if they can get an upset, especially with seeing how Brookstone and because that's going to be the big game this year. That Brucelli Joe is going to be huge this year because I think it's going to determine who wins that region. I really do. And especially with that defense they're going to have next year, I think it's a good chance that Pacelli might be able to squeeze an upset. Let's see. I think it's just going to be a great game regardless, but I believe Pacelli's got a good chance to go through it. So does Calvary. I mean, all 3 of them. I mean, you look at Calvary, you look at the quarterback, you look at Braxton Wilkinson, great arm out there. Let's see what they can do with him and offensively, what Coach Brunson has set up for the season. So I believe it's going to be a good one all around. The GIAA is just going to be fun come football season regardless.
Well, I can't wait, and that puts another wrap on this segment with my guy Mike Frost. We'll take a quick break. Frosty, when we come back, Curtis Simpson will come on, talk Night Ballers and Women's Adult League here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Don't go anywhere.
To get your case started, do yourself a favor and visit us at MikeCostelloLawFirm.com. 24/7, nights and weekends, 365 days a year, and we only collect if you get paid.
Celebrate America's 250th all month long at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. During the month of July, with every new or used vehicle purchase, you'll receive a beautiful embroidered American flag kit for your home. Our way of helping you proudly celebrate. We have over 500 vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery. You'll find the biggest discounts and a great selection. Visit Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika today. Get ready to smile.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Life's a cruise, that's the move.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Back here, Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show from CNAW Studios, and I'm with my guy, Big Kurt.
Yes, sir.
What up, man?
What's up?
How are you, dude?
Good.
For one, how cool was it to see the Lions win a championship, dude? I know you all about the city. You love promoting things positive in the city, and for them to bring that thing back home, Damian and crew, that was pretty cool.
Man, that was cool, man. We was actually we had night ballers going on, so me and some of the security guards, we was watching it. We was glued to our phone, checking the score. Awesome. So that was cool, man. I think I know they was down 14-0 at one point, and I turned back. It was 26-20. They was up, so I was like, okay. And then I was glued in then.
Right.
Yeah, it was exciting, man.
I'm glad they were able to bring it home and love what it's done for the city. Galvanizes. Everybody has something they can cheer for. We're not fighting. I know there's a lot of disagreement and a lot of things that go on here in this city, man. But one thing we can agree on, it's really cool what we saw from the Lions and the Clingstones and really all the professional organizations. Man, can you believe it? We're almost done with the Night Balls League and Adult League. Now that we're at the playoff time, you've had some days to kind of reflect. How do you think this year's going so far, man?
I think it's been pretty good, honestly. I was glad to able to start the women's program, you know what I'm saying, as well as the men. Like you said, it was just something to do for the community. When I reflect on it and I thought about it, I was like, man, this is really giving some adults things to do. Right. Like some of them, all they have to do is go to work and go home.
Exactly.
So this was a good opportunity to, guys and girls to play a game they love, in a stress-free, positive environment.
How about the fact, too, that you got guys that are college players, you got guys that are trying to go overseas, gives them a league to hone in on their craft to get better and playing against other top-level talent.
Yeah. Look at Tristan. His first game was 30.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? Overseas. So, yeah, that's what it's about.
I'm proud of him. And now you see what he's doing. He was able to come here, hone in on his craft, and that's why, again, I'm all about anything my man Big Kurt touches. Chris, if you don't mind, throw up the graphic real quick, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of what's going on. So tomorrow we got the first round. for the boys. Girls, there's only 4 teams, so they'll have their Final Four on Friday.
Yeah, top 14 made it.
So tomorrow, what's happening?
So tomorrow we have the playoffs for the guys. So the winners will advance to the Final Four on Friday.
Okay, that's Uptown Alliance, and then Uptown taking on the Alliance. Excuse me. That's the 4-5 matchup at 7:15, and then at 6:15. That's what time it starts on Tuesday. It's going to be Money Calling versus 706ers. Then Final Four. You got 4 games.
4
going
games.
on. Girls 6:15, 7:15. And the first game at 6:15 is Aces versus the 478 Ballers. That's coming up from Atlanta, if I'm correct.
Warner Robins.
Warner Robins, Macon area.
Don't
I knew
give
why.
me Victoria.
478
Don't
is
give
not
me Victoria.
Atlanta. They're going to kill me. And then they've got the Comets and Cold Blooded at 7:15. And then the Top Dogs and the Cougars. So the top 2 teams, they're going to be taking on the winners from Tuesday.
Correct. They both 1 and 2 got to bye. So Top Dogs finish 1, Cougars finish 2.
All right, so you got any music, any vendors coming? What's happening
Yeah,
on Friday?
So I got DJs Fridays and Saturdays.
Awesome,
so
man.
yeah, both days I got a DJ. My guy Saturday, Elijah, my young DJ that do Columbus Lions, man. I'm looking forward to him. He know how to rock it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and I got my guy DJ J Third Friday. I'm gonna have vendors, food vendors. You know, I like to eat, so I'm gonna make sure we eat good. He come on through.
I can't wait, man. So Saturday, 7:15, 8:15, it's going down. Where is all the games going to be at if they want to come and hang out?
Shirley B. Winston. We got a championship game Saturday. It's gonna be super lit. The winner's gonna be iced out. I got rings, big boy rings. You know, I don't have steps. So.
Yeah, man, I love that, dude. I'm telling you.
MVP trophy. I got
Hey.
I got regular season MVP. Tell me who you think it should be in the comments.
Yep.
And MVP for the championship game. We doing it big.
And we're going to have all that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll have the post-game celebration as well. Look forward to being there on Saturday. And then we don't have the flyer for this, but you can come back to us, Chris, because we'll have them on again before this event. But coming up in a few weeks, man, you got something you're doing with your guy, Rashawn Billinger. Talk about what's coming up in a few weeks.
So in a few weeks, July 31st, August 1st, that weekend, we got a team coming all the way from Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, Pro-Am team. You know, they want to test the waters down here. They seen what we was doing with the Night Ballers. They was very impressed. So they said, why not come, put their show on the road.
Right.
And come see what it's talking about in Georgia.
So you're going to take all players from your league. And
Night Ballers.
We're going to see what's going to happen.
Best of Night Ballers. Let's get it.
I can't wait. That's going to come up in a few weeks. You can check out the details on social media. But Big Curtis, one more time, for those in the community, right after the Lions parade, why not come hang out, Shirley B, after we celebrate Lions championship, Saturday championship game, and the Final Four on Friday. Good basketball going on all week.
Good basketball. Great environment, great vibes.
Coach, appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
His name is
girl.
Curtis Simpson. He's a Parks and Recs sports director, and he's done an amazing job. And I'm looking forward to this upcoming year. Is there anything else you want to kind of promote, Curtis, going on Parks and Rec-wise for the kids, or anything that you want to put out in the community?
We still working on some stuff, but just like I said, just follow me on Facebook or follow the Parks and Rec page so you don't miss out on the information.
Curtis, appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Shirley B going down Tuesday, first 4 for boys, and then Final Four for men's and women's on Friday. 4 games starting at 6:15, Shirley B, and then Saturday, 7:15, championship. We're going to broadcast it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. That's Curtis A. Simpson. Curtis, appreciate you, man.
Thank
we'll
you,
take
guys.
a break. I don't know why I said your full name. I just for
Facebook
Facebook,
name.
no, I
That's
just
right.
need the A in there. We'll be back after this with Big Rich. He's ready. The Rambler's ready to come on with some random facts on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show.
Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with Chevy trucks and SUVs. Attention! 0% financing for 5 years on Silverado, Equinox, and Trax. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. Drive home in a brand new Chevy Silverado, HD, or Colorado. Looking for an SUV? Choose from Tahoe's, Equinox, Trax, and Traverse. All ready to roll. With any vehicle, you'll receive a beautiful...
A strong workout needs a strong recovery.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
He's here, and he'll make sure he's never forgotten. He's got all the facts. He's got the stats. It's the beats only. Big Rich in studio. What is going on, Richie Rich?
So this is what it's come to. A year ago, I was your right-hand man, and we were doing shows together, and now I'm just the guy that you have on the end of the show. But that's okay.
Hey, listen, you're not the caboose. You're the cherry on top. It's the feature part. And everyone knows it's the Big Rich segment. It's coming. There's facts. It's going to be funny. And you're going to get mad about something. It's happening. And he will never be forgotten. Isn't that right, Chris?
You're Raisin Bran.
He's Raisin Bran. It just never goes out of order.
I appreciate
never goes out of date.
I appreciate you giving me a platform where I could just go on a rant. By the way, while you guys were up partying up in West Virginia, I was holding down the fort, calling Columbus United FC's final home match.
How did that go, Rich? Update us.
They won 4-1.
Awesome.
The largest crowd that I've seen in an Atlanta United match. It was fan appreciation night at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium. 2 goals by Chase Jackson.
Awesome.
And E.J. Siraj gets his
How
first
about E.J.?
ever career goal for Columbus United FC.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that there was a great attendance. Overall, though, how did the year go? How did it end for Columbus? Where did they finish in standings? Update everybody.
Disappointed. They finished 3rd in the South Central Division. Only 2 teams make the playoffs. Dothan United and the Swarm were the 2 teams that made the playoffs. They finished in 3rd place, though, with 4 wins, 2 losses, and 6 ties with a total of 18 points. 6 ties. Talking to Coach Flaherty, some of those ties could have easily been wins.
Can we get the ties out of it? I guess soccer, they just never will.
They just, in the regular season.
Look at the World Cup. They have ties in the
biggest stage
of soccer. Come on.
But I would love for it to be decided on penalty kicks, but ties are just never going to go away, especially in soccer. But I think that we had a boost of fan attendance this year because it is a World Cup year. People were just excited about soccer, and we had a mixture of homegrown guys like Nick Ettridge, who played at Pacelli. We've had E.J. Siraj, who played at Brookstone. Ryan Collins played at Columbus. We also had international guys like Sako Kanate, who actually plays on the international team, Guiana. He actually appeared in 1 international match during World Cup qualifying. And so I thought that was pretty cool. He's the type of player. He's followed Coach Stuart Flaherty, who's over at the Michigan Red Stars FC. That was his former club. And then big shout-out to Coach Flaherty, and then the assistant coach, Remy Tazifer, which was his assistant at Michigan's Red Stars. So it was a successful season. I had a ball being up in the press box with your aunt and uncle and your cousin Paxton. By the way, your aunt and uncle did a great job taking turns being the PA announcer.
I saw that.
And your aunt, she is just got a talent for the announcing. She got into it, and they both did. But man, your aunt just ran with it and did a fantastic job on the weekend. But
hey, she's taking it. You better leave my aunt alone.
I love your aunt and uncle. They've been great.
Hey, let me stop. But
they've been great.
I appreciate the kind words, and I'm glad that we got to be a part of it. Richard, great job as always, being the voice of Columbus United. Came up short, but great season. Glad it ended on a high note, as well as the Columbus Lions winning the championship. Big Rich, and now we are we're weeks away from high school sports starting.
I do want to say something, Thrift, because I did post on my social media. Wasn't that a great night in Columbus sports? The Cleanstones won, United won, the Lions win. It was perfect. It was like the perfect night if you are a Columbus sports fan.
Yep, and the Lions set the standard, bringing home a championship. Awesome cheering for a team. They did a great job this season. All right, let's talk about high school sports. Big Rich, I know you and Frost talked last week about volleyball.
Yeah, we did.
I'm excited about this upcoming year, man. I really am. I think Pacelli's been the dominant horse, and they got a new coach, third time in 3 seasons. But why can't that be their year? In my opinion, Galligan and Brookstone, I think they're the number 1 team coming into next year, if I'm not mistaken. Or do you have someone else?
I actually think Calvary's got Abigail Holder, Abigail Steffens, and Madeline Gaps all coming back. They return a lot from last year.
Columbus High, perennially.
Taylor Myers.
It's always been really good.
Kiera Parsons is now at point, but I think Columbus, Carson Lay, their coach, is going to get them competing. Now they're in a new classification. They're in 4A. They're not going to be dominating 2A like they were. So it's going to be very interesting as how Columbus is going to do. But I think Glenwood is going to be great with Malia West Sanchez.
Yep.
I think that they do lose a player like Emerson White, but they do bring back a player like Sanchez, and then Rory Dunbar, who's just an incredible setter for the team. So, yeah, volleyball will be here before you know it. It's one of those sports that's right there the first week of August. When we come back from school, volleyball is just right there in the mix. And I believe that first game is August the 6th. Pacelli is taking on Noonan and Columbus in a tri-match.
So, we are still doing City with an Athletic Director. We'll wrap up with this. We posted Joseph Kegler today. How about the Green Waves? So last year, soccer team made the playoffs. Football, again, won 6 games with Joseph Kegler. Boys basketball program, perennially always Quintavious Allen. They had a great year last year. Volleyball got better. I know they're excited about this upcoming season.
Soccer team made it to the second round of the playoffs.
Soccer team made it to the second round. I like what I'm seeing for Coach Kegler and the Green Wave, and I think with Elijah Fudge returning, I know they play in a new region, a new classification this year, but Spencer could be really good. Go back and watch that interview. Richard, you were able to catch up with Andre Dye and talking about Kendrick. They were getting better almost every single sport. Football won more games than the year before. Volleyball, obviously, much improved. Angela Long was probably the most improved coach.
Yeah.
Great season, man.
Yeah, it was a great interview that I had with Coach Andre Dye. Just going back and talking about the history of Kendrick Athletics, there's a lot of pride, especially for East Columbus. It is a very unique school because it's the only school geographically that is east of I-185 and south of J.R. Allen Parkway. So it covers a lot of ground and a lot of great feeder school systems like Rothschild, like Fort, like East Columbus Magnet that have really – that's where they get their talent. I think that Kendrick, they got the facilities. They've been improving their school grounds. Why not Kendrick? Why can't they be competitive? Because they do have the talent there in that area. I think that Coach Andre Dye has done a fantastic job promoting them, and I'm excited to see like what the football team did last year going 4-6. I think they can improve, and seeing the basketball team. I'm excited to see that basketball team get further than the first round of the playoffs with the likes of Noah Harris and Miles Souvenir and A.J. Dye, Coach Dye's son.
Yeah.
They're going to have a fantastic team. And we talked about that. It was just a great conversation with Coach Dye.
You'll be able to watch that later on this week. Also tomorrow, dropping Russell County's Larry Knox. I talk about someone that had everyone win. That'll be dropping tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Football program, 17-3 the last 2 years. Volleyball won more games than it's ever won, and their coach is even more excited this next year. They just hired a new cheerleading coach. Flag football won more games in its history, went 9-8, and beat a lot of local teams. They just play in a tough region. Next year, they think in the classification they're in, instead of being up there with all the 7A, 6 and 7A schools, they're their own classification in 6A. They could be at the playoffs. We talked about baseball, Danny Danielson getting better. The basketball programs, are you kidding me? Both won 20 games last year. I like what I'm seeing from Russell County, and it starts with Larry Knox. You can hear his story in that interview, and we were so happy they're part of what we do here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yeah, I heard you and Mike Frost talking about the football team. Chris Lucas, he's a junior running back. He's a 3-star running back, actually. As I was doing my homework, going through Rivals.com, seeing some of the top recruits in this area, I think Russell County's got a good one. There was one last year, Chris Lucas had like 5 touchdowns when the Valley defense was trying to hold Bryson Riggins to not throwing any touchdown passes.
Right.
They're like, okay, if you're going to beat us this way, then I got Chris Lucas, and he's a great weapon to have. And I know they're going to feel like Bryson Riggins was a great thrower of the football. They're going to lose a little bit of that, but they're going to have just a fantastic running back in Chris Lucas.
Okay. Those will all be dropping here next couple of weeks. Columbus High, Danielle McCoy, had a lot of fun with her.
Oh, yeah, that was
her first year as an athletic director, and the first year they win Directors Cup, which means they were the #1 school. That means every single sport, they can combine all the sports on how they did this year and how they do their point system, how far they made in the playoffs, and they were the #1 team, #1 school in the entire 2A.
That's awesome.
That means every sport. Football, obviously great. We know about softball made a deep playoff run. Volleyball made a deep playoff run. State champion in cross country and cheerleading. Soccer, both boys and girls in the Final Four. Golf and tennis were great.
Runners up.
I mean, are you kidding me? Just every single sport. Baseball made it the second round of the playoffs. Everything that they do, they're competitive in, and I expect something the same thing. And I thought Danielle did an amazing job. You can watch that this week as well, Rich.
Yeah, do they get extra points for having a lacrosse team? Because they're the only school in this area with a lacrosse team. Flag football with Coach Christian Greer, Harmony Franklin, an incredible flag football player. I can't wait to see what Columbus does this year in all the sports, especially when we have the fall sports, softball, volleyball, cross country. Olivia DeQuatro's coming back, a state champion and cross country runner. I know that it's exciting. We're glad that they were able to win that Directors Cup, but now they're in 4A. It's going to get a little bit tougher, but we are looking forward to seeing Columbus athletics take the field this fall.
All right, well, Big Rich, give me any random facts or stats you got.
Random facts. Well, the World Cup is going on. We got the semifinals. The only time, if you had picked a bracket for your World Cup, like I filled out a bracket, the round of 32. I filled out a bracket. I didn't get the semifinals right, but if you pick chalk, the top 4 teams ranked in FIFA are all in the semifinals. We got tomorrow, we got Spain and France. We've got Kylian Mbappe going up against the 19-year-old sensation, Lamine Yamal. And then on Wednesday in Atlanta, how about this matchup? England and Argentina. Are you kidding me? Harry Kane going up against Lionel Messi.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness. No, this has been a very successful World Cup. I can't believe they're even talking about expanding this to 64 teams. That's crazy. There's already 48 teams is enough. I'm not.
How about the U.S.
I don't know.
Losing 4-1?
The most disappointing, because this was the round of 16, the most disappointing World Cup loss of all time. And look, I remember when I was a kid.
Just because of the momentum.
The momentum.
We've had worse losses.
Slightly favored. Yes, we did have worse losses.
But
I remember when I was a kid. They were in the group stage. When I was a kid, they lost to Czechoslovakia 5-1 in 1990. They have lost to the Czech Republic in 2006 3-0. I mean, but this was a bad loss. They gave up 4 goals. Usually when they lose to teams in group stage, they lose to Belgium in 2014 2-1. They lost to the Netherlands 3-1 in 2022. They lose to Brazil 1-0 in 1994. They lose to Germany 1-0 in the quarters in 2002. This was a bad loss, and I think it sets the United States back just a little bit. I still would bring back Mauricio Pochettino, but you got a young striker in Flo Balogun who's only 24 years old. Christian Pulisic is overrated, by the way. I know. I'm sorry, soccer community that loves Christian Pulisic. He's overrated. He's played in half of the World Cup games. He's only scored 1 goal in 2 World Cups. So, yeah, there's my hot take, ruffling some feathers, getting all those soccer fans all fired up. And I know I'll be checking my email later tonight.
Well, check your email, Big Rich. Definitely thought it was going to come out that you were the Columbus Lions play-by-play announcer back in 2022. I thought that would have been the random fact of all random facts.
Thrift, I do want to say something. As you guys enjoyed your time up in West Virginia, and
Let's go!
I wish I was
Sorry about
there.
that.
I'm willing to admit, I wish I was there. You guys were having a lot of fun. But duty calls. I was holding down the fort because I'm the voice of Columbus United FC, and they just happened. They're not going to change their game because of the Lions Championship. So we had a United game and we had the Lions Championship. So it is what it is. It was a fun time. I'm glad I got the opportunity in 2022, but that time has passed. It's a new ownership. I was an unproven broadcaster back then. I was grateful for the opportunity, but you got to move on, and I've kind of put that in the rearview mirror, and I'm focusing on the future and driven to continue to do bigger and better things.
All right. Well,
like
great job, Rich.
Because the AAL is expanding, we got 8 teams now. You know, one of those teams.
We want to say thank everyone that came in. Damian Daniels, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate Curtis Simpson, Mike Frost. And as always, to wrap up the show, Big Rich, tune in tomorrow, Sports Vision's morning show. I know we got the San Mark basketball camp coming up here in a couple weeks. So we'll be having Mark Upshaw on. So looking forward to that. Don't forget Coach Show on Wednesday. We also have Richard doesn't know this, but he will be helping me host and hosting by himself a celebrity bowling tournament happening at Stars and Strikes on Wednesday at 3 p.m. There's going to be 22 teams involved, a ton of local people and businesses, and we'll be there hosting the show. Big Rich will be holding the fort down as I'll have to go to do the coaches show for the Columbus Lions. So busy Wednesday, Friday, Big Rich live from Night Ballers in the Adult League, so he ain't going anywhere. And then Saturday we got the parade that you can watch on the Lions channel and Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And then that night, guess what? Night Ballers and Adult Women's League Championship Rich will be at. So busy next couple of days. Sitting with the ADs will be dropping throughout it, and looking forward to it.
Thrift, since you put me on the spot, I'm going to plug my podcast because I got Philip Jordan on this Wednesday, 5 o'clock on my Facebook page and YouTube channel. Thank you, Thrift. My, how the turntables.
You need random facts or some stats. You know where to go. The Sports Beat with Big Rich. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, everybody tuning in. Been another great show. And I want to end it with this. No one's more of an MVP than my guy, the mad scientist. I mean, his hair right now is all over the place. Chrissy Gates. We had fun this past week. This entire operation that we do, I throw a lot on my guy's shoulders, and he delivers every single time. Fantastic job with the Lions. And then this show would not even be here if it wasn't for my guy, Chrissy.
Big Chris.
So Chrissy Gates will always get love, and everyone knows if you love him and you like him, Waffle House is his favorite.
Give him a Waffle House gift card.
You find a gift card from Waffle House, you'll have a friend for life. From Chris Gates, Richard Aldridge, I'm Thrift Barringer. See you next time. Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. The Lions are champions.